Hello guys, Wave Tysa here, and today I'm going to be teaching you about building focused stamina so you can essentially just say goodbye to all your autopilot troubles. So why should we focus in Smash? Smash requires focus throughout the match to catch critical moments of the game, and without focus you can miss small details in your opponents, such as how they respond to your mix-ups, their habits, and their patterns and how they position themselves throughout the match. And in general, Smash takes between 2 to 4 minutes and a 2-stock game, and even though it has a 6-minute timer, that's just generally how each game works. So I'm going to be teaching you about one practice method that requires 2 players and 1 versus 1, and it's going to be broken down into 2 parts for you. So part 1 is you just have 1 minute and 1 stock, and what you want to do is you want to play the 1 minute and 1 stock and just focus during the match. Don't really think too hard, but just simply focus and observe what's going on, what you and your opponent doing, and more so what your opponent is doing more than yourself, because it's a fighting game and you kind of have to just pay attention to your opponent. And whenever the stock ends or the 1 minute ends, whichever one comes first, after that you want to take a 2-minute discussion with whoever you're playing against to talk about the match. You can talk about mix-ups, you can talk about punish game, you can talk about edge guarding, just anything you want to discuss in Smash, including theory and whatnot. And this is going to serve as your break to take away from having to focus and just play hours and hours trying to maintain focus in a game. So after that, you just want to reset and do another 1 minute and 1 stock. And what you're doing here is you're going to practice how to focus between this 1 minute for the full complete time frame. And after a while, once you get used to doing 1 minute 1 stock and completely focusing, then you add 2 minutes, and then after you do 2 minutes you do a 2-minute discussion. This is going to happen after each game, and then eventually when you get to 3 minutes you're going to add 2 stocks, because usually 1 stock will end between 1 and 2 minutes. And you'll have 2-minute breaks to discuss the game even more, and then you add 4 minutes and then 5 minutes to focus, and then eventually you'll get to 6 minutes, which is a full complete game if it ever goes to time, where you can stay completely focused. Now part 2 is going to be a little bit extra here, and that's when you reduce the amount of time you need to relax and to bring yourself back into the game, into the moment. And after a while, after you get to 6 minutes focus, you want to start reducing how much time you have to discuss. And after you only need 2 minutes to discuss, you can break it down to 1 minute and 30 seconds to discuss after each game, and then you break it down even further to 1 minute, and then eventually you break it down to 30 seconds to where you need to discuss, and eventually you'll get to the point to where you only need to take deep breaths, like a few deep breaths, in order to bring yourself back into the next game and be ready to be completely focused. And now as a closure, I'm just going to add, let's say if you're struggling even trying to focus for 1 minute. So what you want to do is you want to keep trying until you can stay focused for 1 minute. I mean, you can get flustered, sometimes you get distracted by things that happen in the game, you get hyped, you get really into the moment, and you start to forget that you just need to focus in the game, or sometimes you may even go back to autopilot. So what you want to do is you just keep practicing until you can focus for the 1 minute 1 stock, and you want to take deep breaths. If you're getting really flustered, just take some deep breaths and really try to allow yourself room to not overthink about the situation in the game. And let's say you aren't able to play Smash and you just want to practice being able to focus. What you do is you practice breathing meditation. And what that allows you to do is you essentially just focus on your breathing for a short amount of time, maybe 5 minutes, 1 minute, 10 minutes, whatever you're good at on focusing, and you just focus really just on breathing and paying attention to your breathing. And the longer you can do that, that should help develop being able to focus for longer periods of time. And essentially what this practice does, this whole building your stamina, it allows you to get less flustered in tournament, it allows you to stay focused in each game, and the breaks wise, when you're able to just take deep breaths to be ready for the next match, that's essentially what allows you to do. So, Wave Tysa here. I hope you enjoyed the video, and Tysa out.